Hey everyone, this is a spontaneous live. If anybody comes on, if they can tell me if they can hear me. I'm currently now driving, doing this live because I have some disturbing news. So I'll wait a few minutes, see if anybody notices I'm on. Oh, what a rainy day it is here. Oh, I guess we should be lucky it's not snow. It's rain. Hello. I have one person. Where is it? So I have some disturbing news, and I'm going live with this news because I think the public needs to know, and then I'm going to explain. Hey Barb, how are you, my dear? The public needs to know, and I'm going to explain what I'm going to do. So, Evan, forgive me if I get angry, because I am still very angry about this. I was notified today that my rights to speak at the Monster Who, and YouTube can do whatever they want with this, but the monster that raped me for hours and tied me to a wall, I am unable to speak at his statutory release hearing, not his full sentence, but his statutory release hearing. Hello, Win. Hello, One. So I got notified that my rights were being taken away. As a victim, I don't have the right to speak at this. I do have what they say is a right, is to send in a written statement and somebody from the board will read it. Well, no, thank you. My voice is the voice that needs to be heard, not some random person that does not know what I went through. Then they decided to say, well, if it's that important to you, if it's important to you, then we will record your voice and play the recording. Are you kidding me right now? I have a right to stand in front of that monster and let him know that he didn't break me. I may be affected for the rest of my life for what he done to me, but he did not break me. Yes, Phil, I absolutely did. And he got a 4-year sentence, and he only has to do 2/3 of that sentence. So he will be released on January 24th is his statutory release date. Thank you, Canada. But he could be released 1 to 2 days earlier, depending on the board, how they want to do it. So I am not standing for this. My voice will be heard. So as of Monday, I will be sitting in front of the Parole Board of Canada. I don't give a shit how cold it is. Parole Board of Canada today stating that I am no longer allowed to speak at his statutory release hearing because it goes against his rights to start his new life on a negative tone. This is absolutely fucking bonkers. And then the woman had the nerve to say to me, oh, I understand how you feel. I understand what you're going through. I understand. She must have said I understand like a million dozen times. So I asked her, I said, do you truly understand? Because I was curious. Do you truly understand? I'm not asking her to tell me her story or any of that. I wanted to know if she truly understood. And she's like, yeah, I understand. I said, okay, so you have been through what I've been through. She goes, well, no, I haven't. I said, then how dare you sit there and patronize me by saying you understand what I'm going through? These people are, this is our Canadian justice system. It is the worst system in all of the free world. In all of the free world, it sucks. The only people it doesn't suck for is the criminals. The criminals get every right afforded to them. I've told you before, if the government decides to send out a rebate check, guess what? Prisoners that don't pay anything, no fuel, no hydro or electricity or however you want to call it, no heat, no rent, no taxes, no nothing, guess what? They get a rebate check. No one, it makes no sense at all. So Rochelle is going to be standing out front of the parole board hearing. And if they don't let me stand in front of that son of a bitch and speak my words freely instead of editing me and telling me what I can and cannot say, like they always do, guess what? Then the whole world is going to hear me. I'm going to put the parole board, I'm going to put the correctional facility, I'm going to put our justice system on blast. And I don't care how cold it gets, I will stand out there until I'm heard. I am done with this. And listen, I understand it's not going to change for me. It's not going to change nothing for me. I completely understand that. Does it suck? Absolutely. But it may change for some other victim. It may change for them. Deb, Canadian Friends, is there anything Americans doing live, guys, when I'm in front of that parole board hearing? And I've already reached out to some news channels to go public with it. All that I'm asking is if I go live, please just share it completely wherever you can, just to make sure if there's other Canadian men or women out there that are victims and they're going through it, they hear it. One man's trash, I do understand, and I am so sorry, I am so sorry you understand. It hurts my heart that you understand. But to have some random person, and I asked her nicely because I thought, you know what? She may just understand. So when she just kept saying, I understand. So I asked her, do you truly understand? Have you been through what I've been through? I didn't need her story. I didn't need her to put it out there. Nothing like that. And then she's like, well, no. I said, then don't tell me you understand. First off, they're letting this man out early that there's a 911 call recorded that they have in his file stating, when I get out of jail, I'm going to slice your throat. I just, and this is, oh, well, he spent 2/3 of his time and not once has he admitted or even recognized what he's done. And Deb, I'm so sorry you understand too, my friend. But somebody needs to stand up to these people. And unfortunately, it's me. But I will do it because like I said, it's not going to change my situation. I'm well aware of that. It's not changing it. But it definitely will maybe help someone else in the future. And I I'm so angry, guys. I cannot believe that they had the gall to take away my right to speak. You're right, Win. He should be. And if he wasn't in Canada, he would be. Not only was I tied to a wall, not only was I raped, I was butchered. I was butchered by this man for over 12 hours. I was locked into my house. I could not get out. I was held hostage for over 12 hours. But the Canadian government sees fit to release these monsters back out onto the street. They say, well, you'll be fine. He has to live in a secured housing halfway house for a year till he finishes out his sentence. Are you kidding me? One man's trash. No, we are not allowed to have that in Canada. I'm not allowed to have that. I'm not allowed to have bear spray. I'm not allowed to have anything to protect me from this man. It is when it's absolutely ridiculous. Then there was funding for victims that found themselves in my situation where he stole all my money prior to doing this and left me with 25 cents in my bank account. There was funding, but thank you, Trudeau, because guess what happened? He deactivated the funding and gave the government more money. Win? I get it. Yeah, in the US I could, and in the US I would. If I was around this son of a bitch and he was walking the face of the earth, I would carry. I 100% would. It'd be the first thing I do before he even got out. Made sure I was legal to do that. And I'd make sure I would live in a state where it was, where you have the right to protect your property, your house, yourself. I would do that in a heartbeat. I'm just gonna make my way home here, guys, because I started this live because I was so angry and I just needed to, but enough's enough with this. And like I said, I know it's not changing anything for me whatsoever. Oh, I would love to come to the US, but it's not easy. It is not easy to immigrate to the US, which you would think would be easier for a Canadian but it is not. And which would be the safest place in the world for me because he can't cross the border with his criminal record. So yeah, but Deb, if I was to use something like that, I would be charged because it's not for the purpose that it's meant for. Like, so, for example, the knife that he used on me, if I would have been able to grab that knife and use it on him, I could have been charged. I could have been charged. It's just for protecting myself. It's insane. Like, I don't, as a victim, I have no rights. None whatsoever. Where there's a will, there's a way, right, one? Yep, I get it, guys, and trust me. Like I said, remember I said earlier that I was going to go live and put this guy on blast on Saturday? Well, I spoke about it to a few people and they said, no, you can't. You can tell your story, but you can't put him on blast. Because that is against the law in Canada. So guess what? I'm not putting him on blast. I'm putting the Parole Board of Canada on blast now. I'm going to let them know. And I don't have to say his name, but I can put, and I can go, the injustice of DV can drive you mad. My ex was former. The guy, oh my God. I don't know why they feel the right. So, sorry guys, somebody will read my statement to me or to him. It's probably me because I'm driving while I've got this on live. I'm so, how do you tell a victim of any crime what they can say? You're taking away their voice right from the very beginning. Hey, can you guys hear me now? I'm trying to get home as fast as I can without the okay, good. Thanks, Deb. These people, bureaucratic bullshit is what it is. They can sit there and tell people how they feel and what they can say. It makes no sense to me. In this whole process, I have not been able to say exactly what I want to say. I can't even utter the words asshole in my victim statement. I can't, or I might as well just sit there and say, you know what? He's a good guy. That would make them happy. That would make the Parole Board of Canada, Corrections of Canada, Justice System of Canada happy. No, well, I will say this. I did call my local police force today because I have to go to a different city to stand in front of the Parole Board of Canada. And I did call and I did speak to a couple officers, and they said to me, as long as I stand on the sidewalk, I don't step on their property, then nothing can be said. So, and the one officer had said he knows an officer in that area that he will reach out to make sure nobody bugs me. Because they said the Parole Board of Canada is going to try and shut you up. And I said, they're not going to shut me up. They're just not. I'm not allowing it. And how bad would it look on them if they arrest a woman that's going to have a sign that says, I am a rape victim, tied to a wall for 12 hours, and they arrest me? How bad does that look on the Canadian government? And you know what, guys? I will take that, because that will be arresting me again unlawfully, for one. But second thing is, it will get more noise to this matter in Canada. And I'm not against the police, because I've reached out to them. I'm not against them. Is there bad police? Absolutely. But the ones I reached out to have been angels to me, and I needed their advice and from any of that situation. But Government of Canada ain't gonna be happy. Going against Parole Board of Canada ain't gonna be happy. But enough's enough. I've had enough. I'm just going live right now with this because, well, I needed to get this out there, and I need for you guys to help me by sharing, especially Monday, because I was going to go today, but we all know what government's like on Friday. They don't give a shit about nothing. They don't care. They're going to close their doors early and go home. So Monday morning, nobody likes Mondays, so might as well add to their nasty Monday by sitting in front of their door. Yeah, Jeannie, I did. I reached out because, look, I'm a law-abiding citizen, and my rights are being taken away. So I just needed to hear that I could do what I was planning on doing. And now, did they say some officers, especially security guards at Pearl Border Canada, are going to be pissed? Absolutely. But as long as I am not derogatory to anybody, as long as I am not impeding on their ability to work, as long as I am speaking my truth and staying, not causing basically a riot or anything like that, then I have the right to do what I'm going to do. And like I said, I've already reached out to local media, national media, and then I'm going to YouTube. And YouTube is worldwide. So I'm also going to put because it is a public building, Pearl Border Canada is, so I can put their address and everything and their phone number out. And if people feel inclined to call them and put in a complaint that victims aren't being heard, then they can field those complaints. Because the more noise that gets made, some other victim someday will have the rights that I was not afforded. And that's, like I said, I'll say it again, it sucks. Does it hurt me that I'm not going to get these rights? Yes, it does. Am I angry? Absolutely. But I have to understand, unfortunately, that this is the way it is right now. But if I can make it better for victims coming forward and victims having a right to speak what they want and not edited by the Canadian government, then I will do that. And I will have to hold that in my heart as a good thing. And for a lack of a better word, understand that I'm screwed. The government has taken away my voice. In a free country, Canada takes away victims' voices. And sometimes no, attorney can't help. I wish, Jeannie. Attorney can't help. I wish, Jeannie. Attorney can't help. Nothing can help because his date, release date, because they don't like keeping prisoners in prison here. And that's the difference here than in the States, because prisons are some prisons are publicly owned in the States. These are all provincial and federal owned. So it costs the government money. So I need for somehow, some way for this to go viral. If any video out there goes viral, the video of me Monday morning in front of the parole board needs to go viral. Only for the fact is, the more people it draws attention, the more attention to this problem that there can be changes made. I need, that's why I'm going live with this, guys, because I just need everyone's help. I need everyone's help on this. Like, there's no, like, everybody said, oh, I get told also, oh yeah, the lady also told me, well, you did get justice. I said, what justice did I get? Yes, he got put behind bars. Absolutely, he got put behind bars. For what? What amount of time did he get put behind bars for? Because you're letting him out early. And not only that, while he was sitting in jail waiting to go to prison, he sat there for a year. That classes as 2 years in Canada. So in 1 year, he did 2 years of his sentence. Like this, I can't even explain how frustrated I am, guys. I really can't explain it. I feel like screaming, and we all know that's not going to do any good. I don't know how these people keep getting away with this. Victims get so tired of being on what I call the hamster wheel. It's not a roller coaster ride. It's not a Ferris wheel. It's a hamster wheel. Because we're shoved in a little cage and told to sit there and do nothing and go nowhere. Like, I just can't believe that this has been allowed for so long. And it's not something that if you don't have to go through it, it's not something you think about, and nor should you have to think about it. Angie, hey Louise, did anyone else see Joe STS episode on why men husbands kill? Let's all get Joel on Rochelle's story, will be her voice. I would appreciate Patty's on Patty's Playhouse Wilson, she'll talk about it. Then they wonder why we don't report. Exactly, Jeannie, exactly. These are the same damn people that said to me, go to victim support. Victim support calls me this, that. And they're supposed to support a victim through this. The support that I got was a coloring book and crayons. That's the support I got. Because you know what? When you're coloring, your brain turns off. Sure it does. Again, somebody that doesn't know what the hell it's like. But, this will help turn your brain off. And the longer you color, the longer you are not having panic attacks or anxiety or any of this. No, Lee, it's not good. It's not good at all. But Rochelle is not going to take this sitting down. I'm done taking this sitting down. I am so done with the fact that this government is okay with taking anybody's rights away, but taking a victim's voice is too much for me. My voice has been stifled for 4 years. So not only did he put duct tape on my mouth to keep me from being able to speak, now the parole board, and you know what? If I wasn't so scared of duct tape, I might think of masking tape. That might help. I don't know. I would put it there because that's what the parole board is doing to me. They're continuing to gag me, to stifle my voice. Right, Janine? We don't need brain off. We need to be secure. Exactly. It's too much, guys. I'm so sorry that I'm ranting right now but I cannot believe that a country that is supposed to be a free country, freedom of speech, rights, all kinds of rights, and not once have I been awarded that. Angie says, don't know if any of my chats are going through. If so, no, I hear you, Rochelle, and will do my part as a voice for you in the USA. Thanks, Ange. Listen, guys, I appreciate every single one of you so much. And I just, this is unbelievable to me. I have not once been able to say what I want to say to this man. When I did my first victim impact statement at the trial, I was told what I could and could not say. I was even edited that day by his lawyer, trying to get me to take something else out. Which the Crown Attorney said, no, you say it. He had time to edit you. I'm so furious, guys. I'm so freaking angry. I didn't tell them. I did not tell them when I was going to be there or anything. I don't want them prepared. The only people I told, well, is you guys and the media. As much as I hate mainstream media, unfortunately, at this point, I need them. I need them to get it out there. Like, oh my goodness. Can you guys still hear me? Or am I speaking to myself now? Deb says, do what you got to do, Rochelle, but think with logic and not feelings. Strength is in being smart. Yep. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Deb. That's why I've reached out to a couple of my local police officers today already, and I've reached out to the media, and I'm going to just stand out there, have my sign, and I'm not going to be derogatory to any of them. I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be loud and obnoxious, but I am going to be there. And the media is going to be there. And YouTube is going to be there. The coffee crew is going to be there. And we're going to hopefully make it better for some other victim, to where he or she is not being handed a coloring book and crayons and told the best way of dealing with this is to turn your brain off. Turn your brain off. I am 4 years into this, and I still have a hard time looking in a mirror. But, you know, I guess that's when I should pull my coloring book and crayons out. It's going to be peaceful. I don't intend to do anything but state the truth. Yet again, they've taken... You know, the funny thing is, where he is, they get to watch the news. So maybe, just maybe, he will get to hear my words. On a global platform. Because I can't... I don't know how else to deal with this anymore, guys. Every time they do this to me, every single time, it puts me back. Puts me back to being tied to that wall and gagged and silenced. To where my screams were muffled. It puts me right back to there. And this is my government that is now silencing me. This is my government that handed me a coloring book and crayons and said, have a good life. Yeah, Deb, I will. Louise says, hope to see you on the news. Oh, my dear, you will. Because I am not stopping. Like I said, I will make sure I'm bundled up. But I am not. Obviously, when they close their doors for the day, I'll go home. But I'll be there the next morning. And I'll be there the next morning until I get change. Hey, Kimber. I don't even know how people that can sit behind a desk and read the police report, read everything, and think this is okay. How they feel it's okay to take away somebody's voice. I don't get it. Just doesn't make sense to me at all. If it ain't one thing, it's another. Let me tell you that much. This is insanity. And it's allowed to keep going on and on and on. So they also told me that if I wanted to, I could email them my statement today. And it had to be in today or it wouldn't get read. And you know what I told them? Go fuck yourself. You are not reading my words. I have it written. Had it written a while ago. I will take it with me. I will read my words. I will read my edited words. And then I'm going to write the statement of what I actually want to say. And I will also read that. Because these people cannot take my voice away anymore. And I won't allow them to take anybody's voice away ever again. If it's in my power to stop this from happening to someone else, then I'm going to do it. Is the Canadian justice system dictated by British rule? Sorry if I sound ignorant. No, you don't sound ignorant. No, here's the thing. In Britain, they can give a victim's impact statement, a real victim's impact statement. We have our laws can be similar, but not as much as we are underneath we are part of the, oh, my words are gone. Part of the British, we have our own rules. And if it would help to rate the king, I would rate the king, but it won't help. It just won't. But no, you don't sound ignorant at all. This is just a corrupt Canadian government that gives criminals more rights than they give victims or ordinary citizens. I can't even explain how disgusting that sounds saying it. It sounds so disgusting. But that is our country. It's absolutely horrific. But it's allowed to be. Parliament's the problem, though, Deb. Parliament's the problem. And here's the thing. It's such a short notice that's why I say nothing will help me in this, because it's so short of notice. Like, they wait till the last minute to say, hey, by the way, guess what? You don't have a right to speak. So the only option I have is to go very public with it. And in a way, does that suck for me? Absolutely. Because I got to go public with my story. I've got to tell the world on a global platform my story. So because I want to be heard, because I want my voice to be heard, and I have that right, I'm being forced by the Canadian government to let the world know what happened to me. And I know I've said it on here, but I've only said certain amount. I haven't went into full detail. But now I have no option. I have to give the story, the horrific story, so I can garner some kind of respect. I have no idea. It's just sad that this is the way this country works. It's just unbelievably sad. Deb says change has been made in history by someone telling their story. Laws have been changed or made. And that's all I can hope. All I can, like I have come to the part in this where it's not going to help me. But if it helps somebody else down the road, then that's what I'm going to be okay with. Because I can't change what happened to me, but I sure as heck can hope maybe change it for someone else. This is sad. And that woman, I'm telling you, If I could have reached through my phone, oh boy, telling me that she understands. You don't understand, lady. Nor do I want her to understand. That's the thing. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. And anybody that does truly understand, I feel sorry that they understand. I don't want anybody to understand. But I also don't want to be mocked and said, oh, I understand. Like, it's not fair. Just not fair at all. Oh, would it make a difference if they knew that people from around the world was seeing their actions? I don't think it would make, I don't think that part would make a difference. But I think if it becomes a global issue that Canada's being put on blast for, that makes Canada look bad in the eyes of the world, then I think I have to go for an appointment again, and I'm sorry. You are strong. Thank you, one. And talk to you soon. Like when you go live streaming, or do you think they will take away that ability from you? No, they don't have the right to take it away. As long as I'm on a public street, public sidewalk, then I can do it. They may get angry about it, but you know what? If CTV and all and the National and all that's there, what are they going to say? And because I have a YouTube channel, it actually is called Press. So we do have a Freedom of Press Act in Canada. So if they try to take that away too, it's going to look so bad on them, Deb, if they try to take any more rights from me. It's going to look horrible. Hey, Linny, how are you? It's going to look so extremely bad on any agency, police force, Parole Board of Canada, any of them, if they try to take any more rights from me than they've already taken. So this is it's just what I gotta do. It sucks they couldn't do this in the summer. Deb says we will pray for your protection and success in getting it out into the world. Yeah, you know, and who knows? They might try to shut me up by saying, well, we don't usually do this. It's against our policies, but for this time we'll allow it. You know, I welcome that. I welcome them to do that because you know what that sets? A precedent. If they allow it for one, they've got to allow it for everybody else. So I welcome them to try and shut me up by doing that. Because then there is grounds for any other victim to have their voice. My purpose in this is to have my voice heard. My purpose in this is to have all victims' voices heard. My main 100% purpose is to get the government to stop telling us what we can say in a victim statement. It's not right for them to tell us what we can and cannot say. It's gone too far. They're taking away a victim's voice. Now, granted, there is victims out there that don't want to speak, and that is their right. But there is victims out there that do want to speak, And that is our right. And so you watch court cases in the States where they're allowed to have victim statements. Prime example of, oh my goodness, her name is, the woman that killed, she just had her parole hearing. She killed her 2 young boys. Why can't I think of her name right now? Anyway, you all know, it just happened, I think, yesterday or the day before. Look how many, Susan, thank you. Look how many people were allowed to speak as a victim statement, even people that were not born at the time of the incident. At the time, no, sorry, excuse me, that's not an incident, it was a murder. At the time she murdered her children. They were all allowed to speak. They didn't have to have a pre-written anything. They were allowed to speak from their heart and their soul. Here, if that was to happen, no. They limit how many people can speak, and you actually have to be directly affected by the crime. Oh, thank you, Lenny. Your voice should be heard. Your resolute conviction is admirable. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, guys, because I'm telling you, sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind. But then I got to remember, no. I was supposed to have been born in a free country. This is not a free country. This is only free if you are following what they want you to do. Sorry, guys, I was just thinking there. I'm like, this is just, I can't even. Jeannie says, you're not losing your mind, you're being gaslit. Yep. You know, but it's like it just never ends. Just never ends. And what really set me off was the fact that she said he deserves and his rights to start his second life not on a negative tone. Are you kidding me? Lenny, you're right. Sounds like free with exceptions, which is not free at all. Yep, Jeannie, gaslit by your own government. It's sickening. And like, guys, I'm not somebody out there that says that's just constantly fighting the government or anything. I'm not. I never have been. But when it's something that is so wrong, I'm going to stand up for it. And Lenny, you're right. F his next chapter. These are the same people that look in his file. They've got a recording of him calling me from jail. They got a recording of 911 where he literally says on that 911 call, when I get out of jail, I'm going to slice your throat. They've got these words. But you know what? I'm supposed to say, oh, okay, he deserves to come out with rainbows and butterflies and fucking Care Bears. I am so sorry, guys. I do not mean to curse and swear, but that hearing a woman I can't even imagine how angry I would have been if it was a man. But hearing a woman say to a woman of a horrible crime that he deserves the right to come out on, not on a negative tone. How those words even came out of her mouth, and she thought those sounded right. She thought those words were right for the moment and sounded right. I don't get it. I do not get how this woman... And then I said to her, who's going to read? Who would be the one reading my statement? And she says, well, whoever's on the board that day, whoever's sitting on the board. I said, so it could be a board of all men. And she said, yes. I said, so a man is going to read my statement. She goes, well, that's how it works. I said, you think so? Not for this girl, it's not going to work. Not for this girl. And I'm not a man hater. I'm not, so if anybody wants to say that, go right ahead. I'm not a man hater. But I am standing up for all victims in this case. And that could be a male or female. And I'll stand up for them. But no man is going to read my edited words. Not happening. But no woman is going to read my edited words either. Because they're just words to them. They don't get this. These are just words on a piece of paper. There's no heart, there's no soul, there's no feeling in those words for them. But for me, there is. Not once in this whole situation was I allowed to tell him exactly how I was feeling. Not once. The one time I got to speak, I was told, direct the words to the judge, not to him. Do not look at him. Do not glance at him. You are not to direct your words to anybody else but the judge. When he says, nope, not good enough, they need to do the right thing and pass you the mic. Exactly. And I shouldn't have to have a pre-written victim statement that not only does it get edited through Corrections Canada, he gets a copy. The criminal gets a copy. The criminal has a right to edit my words. The criminal has a right to say, no, I don't feel good about those words. Those words hurt my feelings. And then they put a line through it. Then they send it back to me. And I have to rewrite it. My victim statement for when he was getting sentenced got edited by him 3 times. 3 times he sent it back to me. How does a criminal have the right to tell their victim what they can and cannot say? And his lawyer even tried to have it edited the 4th time, the day of sentencing. There's just I cannot comprehend how this is right. None of it makes sense to me. None of it just doesn't feel right. It's just not right. Lenny says that, or Deb says the system keeps victimizing the victim. Absolutely, Deb. Lenny says this is sick. Edit the message from your heart and soul. Unacceptable. 3 times he sent it back because it made him feel uncomfortable. Well, just imagine, and I said this. I said, just imagine how uncomfortable I was tied to a wall and raped for 12 hours. But my words make him feel uncomfortable? And I'm supposed to respect him? I'm supposed to respect his feelings? You know what they say to that? Well, he's got rights. He's got rights, all right. He's got more rights than a free person walking the street that's never committed a crime. He's got more rights. And take me out of the picture. Take the victim part out of the picture. He's got more rights than anyone walking the streets right now that's never committed a crime. How is that even normal? It's just not normal. Nothing's good about this. So guys, what if you spoke what you had originally wrote, regardless of what was deemed acceptable written? Would they hold you in contempt? Absolutely. So what you have to do here is you have to write your victim statement. It usually has to be in, get this, has to be in 2 months prior to it being read, because that gives them time to edit your words. Then it gets sealed. And it goes, once it's edited, everything, it goes to the judge. The judge then has the right to read your victim statement prior to you reading it. Before you even get to read it. Then it's sealed. Then when you go to court to give your victim statement, the judge releases your statement to the Crown Attorney, which is the prosecutors. They unseal it when you're getting ready to read it. They will unseal it. They show it to the defense attorney to prove that it's the exact same one, hasn't been changed. Then it gets handed to you. This is your freaking victim statement goes through every agency and everybody gets to read it before you even have a chance to read it out loud yourself. Like, the criminal gets to read it before they hear it from your voice. It's mind-boggling to me. What should be is an agency should say, okay, this is coming up. Are you wishing to give a victim impact statement? Yes. All right. That's it. That's all. You go in, you give your victim impact statement. You should not have to be edited before you speak your truth. Before you speak from your heart and soul, it should not be edited or read by anybody else until you speak your words. You shouldn't even have to write it down. But they got to make sure the criminal's rights are being upheld. Oh, what a day.
And if I would have walked up to that platform, up to the podium, and put my victim impact statement and went rogue and said anything other than those words, yes, Deb, I would have ended up in jail. Because I was advised, do not change any words, do not do anything, read it word from word. I'm ashamed to be Canadian. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of this country. I'm ashamed of the government. I'm ashamed of the officials. Deb says, I have seen a trial here. I think that they had the people who were giving impact statements read, and then they were told want to change or what they could say. Yeah, it's... How does somebody sitting behind a desk, pushing a damn pencil, tell a victim that they don't have a right to speak their words? And I can't even say his name. I can go to jail if I say his name. It's just baffling. But should all communities be aware of this man? Absolutely. But guess what? Even though he's on the sex offenders list, his address doesn't get published. He could be living next door to people. They could think he's a great guy because they will, because that's how he plays his game. They will think he's an amazing neighbor. Yeah, no, Deb, I'm not allowed to say his name at all. I can say my name, I can say my story, but I can't say his name. Because that's doxing him. And people that he's going to be living by aren't even going to know they're living by a sex offender. It's just, even in the court things, his initials, not his full name. His initials. They tried to tell me that was to protect me. That's what they said. That's the lie they tried to pull on me. Saying, oh, well, this is for your protection. No. I quickly realized it was not for my protection. It was for him. So, A, he didn't go to prison being known as a sex offender. Yeah. My protection for... They tried... So this is what they said. Putting his initials in the court documents and court docket stops anybody from retaliation towards you. Because if they don't know him, don't know his name, I said, are you telling me? This is why it's so funny. He's in jail. All his friends, all his family, all this, they know why he's in jail. He's obviously told them. So, how is that protecting me? He's allowed to dox me. Oh God, no jailhouse justice in Canada. No. Frig. They have different jails for all these people. All the child molesters, all this and that. They all go into one jail. They don't fight each other. They don't do anything. Listen, jails in Canada are criminal vacations. That's it. They're treated like gold in there. Our security are wimps. And I don't mean that to be rude, but they are. I watched on one court hearing when we had to do it by Zoom. There was a guard in there with him, and they were fucking laughing and joking and tapping each other on the back and all of this. It made me sick to watch a security guard buddy up to a freaking rapist. To the point where the judge had to say, "Are we intruding? Are we interrupting you guys?" Our security guards here befriend them because it makes their job easy. They don't care. They get a government pension at the end of it. Each time he got transferred to a different jail, or prison, sorry, I needed to see that prison. In my mind, I needed to see it. I needed to see how secure it was. I know it's silly, but I needed to see it. So the one he's in now, I drove there. It's not even 30 minutes away from me. I drove there. Pulled in to where you would go and park as a visitor. And I had a security guard because I was sitting in the car, not minding my own business, not saying nothing, not doing anything. I had a security guard come over and say, "What are you doing here?" I had tears running down my face. I said, "I'm just seeing how secure the building is, sir. This is..." And I told him why. And he says, "Well, I think you should move it on." Oh, yeah, absolutely, Deb. Prison guards in Canada are daycare workers. Absolutely. The first jail he went to, it's actually only 20 minutes from my house. They have pinball machines. They have badminton. They have table tennis. Like it's a daycare. It's a camp. Jeannie says, "Holy horseshit, Rochelle. Same happened. My ex was joking, buddying up to bailiff. How freaking much that enraged." Oh, it infuriated me. Thank God I was on Skype or Zoom because I obviously was muted. Because I felt like saying, "What the fuck is wrong with that prison guard? This man's a rapist. This man did this and he's tapping him on the back like we're buddies. We're going to go out for a beer after this." Oh, it was a female bailiff. Holy. Will, I understand it's called a correctionals officer. I get that. I've been dealing with this system for a while, but they might as well just be a fucking security guard. He has stabbed somebody with a pen. He has done all this stuff, and not one thing has went on his record. Not one thing. Practically filtering, I was there alone. Oh, it's a hard one, Jeannie, to watch. And I'm sorry, Will, if you are a security guard or a correctional officer. I'm not meaning disrespect. I'm saying, and this is all coming from my perspective as a victim and how these agencies work. And I'm telling you, they are disgusting. Some of these prison guards, correctional officers, security guards should understand the optics of their actions. when they know the victim is sitting there watching them and they're tapping each other, the criminal and the correctional officer tapping each other on the back, yeah, bud, ha ha ha, joking it up, laughing. Doesn't look so good. Yeah, I have nothing against police officers. I have nothing against correctional officers. I have nothing against security guards. But when you're not doing your job, you're not doing your job. As far as I'm concerned, that correctional officer should have been standing there telling him to shut his damn mouth and be spoken to when spoken. You're not a free man walking the streets there, buddy. You have rules. Unless the judge is speaking to you, shut your trap. Oh, absolutely, Jeannie. Thank you, Deborah Michelle. It was a long ago, but it still stings. It truly does. And that's what the thing is. Oh, we want him to start his second chance in life on a positive note. On a positive note. When do I get to start my second chance? I will never have a second chance. I was robbed of that for the rest of my life. It's always there. He robbed me of that. I will never be that person I was prior to what happened to me. That person is gone. That's right, you're not afforded that. Nope. But he's afforded to like, yeah, this happened. Oh well, my government stands behind me. They're like my freaking cheerleaders. My government supports me. My government will. I guarantee he gets out. He's going to get a package. He's going to get a government package to get on his feet. He's going to get subsidized through the government. Because remember, they took away the victim support package. They probably transferred it over to the criminal package. Will says, unfortunately, correction officers deal with these inmates every day, and officers can't treat them differently, or they'll give the image a chance to have a lawsuit. No, and I get that, but they don't need to be like your buddy gonna get ready to go to a friggin' tailgate party. There's decency, and then there's ridiculous. And I understand that. Inmates have too many rights. They truly do. And there is where I will stand with correction officers. Because they're dealing with these inmate rights that I'm dealing with. An inmate could, in Canada, I'm going to say this in Canada, an inmate could probably like, oh, he made me stub my toe. Who's getting rid of? The correctional officer. I get that. I truly do. And I understand they're walking a fine line between their safety and between being written up because an inmate says something. Will, do you want to put your image or your message back in? For some reason, YouTube restricted it. So I 100%, they've got a fine line. They want to go home to their family too. 100% get it. But when you're freer in prison than you're freer on the outside, there's an issue. There's a complete breakdown in the system. If you're more a free person in prison, it's disgusting. So again, like I said, I understand correctional workers have a fine line. You know what? They probably have a finer line to walk, and they're probably more in a dangerous situation than a police officer. And I say that because these people have nothing but time on their hands to figure ways of getting stuff around these correctional officers. Figure out how to harm a correctional officer without, they got 24/7 to do this. So I get that. And I understand walking that fine line. I get that. The optics of that correctional officer telling jokes, tapping them on the backside, like, yeah, buddy, we just won the game, this and that, that was bad. That was horrendous to watch. As a victim, that was horrendous to watch. Will, absolutely. One day I'd love to come on your show and speak about this. 100%. You just let me know. We'll set it up. Only thing is, it can't be Monday. Because Monday I'm going to be out protesting my rights to have a voice. But yeah, absolutely. Any day you want to, Will, you just let me know. My email is crimeandcoffee1976@gmail.com. We will, I welcome that. And it is a great conversation because, again, people like me, that this is my only experience with a correctional officer, right? And I've never been in there. I can only say what my opinion is. But I would love to have an American correctional officer and a Canadian correctional officer, just to see the difference in how this, it's a shame. It's a shame that even correctional officers have to worry that somebody's going to say, oh my God, he looked at me the wrong way. I took offense. He hurt my feelings. Freaking Care Bears. Prisoners should not be called prisoners no more. They should be called Care Bears. Rainbow Brights. I'll keep in touch with you in your email. A boy that I worked on Rikers Island in New York. Holy Jesus. Now you had a rough go. Like, I'm not from the States, but I understand Rikers Island. You think just people that live in the area or whatever, you would think knowing Rikers Island exists would scare you straight from any crime. And you would think those correctional officers would be highly paid. Well paid. Wow, Rikers Island. Oh, you are a brave soul. But, and that's what I try to say, because even though I'm speaking up against this stuff, I'm not one of those F the government, F this, F that. That's not who I am. But who I am is someone that's sick of my rights being taken away. And somebody that the perpetrator, the monster, the criminal, the rapist has more rights than I do. Definitely will. It definitely will. I am very interested in a day in the life of a correctional worker because, listen, I'm on the outside. I've never even been into a visiting section of a prison. Never. I've sat outside one. For some reason, I needed to see that it was secure, even though I know they are. But in my brain, I needed to see it. And then I get told by, he had Corrections Canada on his uniform. So I can't say he was a security officer. It might have been he might have been a correctional officer, but his duty was patrolling. But to be told that I had no right to see that it was secure. Even after I told him, and he seen me, like I had freaking tears, and I'm not gonna I'm telling, I was crying so hard. And he still didn't have the decency to say, I'm sorry. Will says, hopefully my insight will help you all understand what really goes on in this system. I'm hoping it does too, Will. I appreciate you for that. Because, like, you see, like, it's such a spot for me to be in, because where I do want to say, F you, Canada, for taking my rights away, I still need to show respect. But I do also need to stand up for myself. So it's a very weird situation I find myself in. But I need to say something now. I'm done. I'm done being pushed around. I'm done being silenced. I'm just done with it. Well, I thank all of you very much for letting me rant. Will says, I feel your pain and I'm sorry a scumbag hurt you. Thank you so much, Will. I appreciate you. Are you going to be on this weekend before Monday? Yes, I'm going to come on tomorrow. I'm going to get a thumbnail and everything ready today for it. And I'm going to come on tomorrow, and I'm going to come on Sunday, and I'll be on Monday. I've got to bring as much attention to this until Monday as I possibly can. So I'm going to work on finding all the information. Oh, Will, you are super kind. You have a great heart. Ever need an ear, I'm here for you. Thank you so much. I'm going to, about 6 o'clock. I'm going to do it for 6 o'clock each night, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Or, sorry, Saturday and Sunday. Monday's going to be as long as I can go. It's going to be, as soon as I get there, I'm going to be going live. And they open at 9 o'clock, so I will be there for 9 o'clock. I'm going to be there before they open up. Most of them will get there probably about 8:30. I want them, when I drive in, to see me there. So that being said, I am going to say thank you all for listening to me rant. I am going to make a couple more phone calls to make sure I've got everything in place. Thank you, Will. Thank you. I'll be waiting for your emails. And make sure I got everything in place that I need for on Monday, and that all of my rights are going to be protected. And go from there. But I just I needed the coffee crew to get me through this anger issue that I was getting into, the slope that I was sliding down. But Thank you all so much, and I will be speaking to you tomorrow. Within a couple hours, I will have the thumbnail up for tomorrow. Leah says, Rochelle, my thoughts and prayers are with you. Stay safe. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Leah. Thank you so much, Jeannie. I appreciate you all. And for everyone in here right now that understands, I am so sorry you understand. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I don't wish this on anyone, nor would I want somebody to understand. I will be talking to you tomorrow at 6 o'clock. The thumbnail will be up in a couple hours. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for keeping me calm. Thank you for understanding my rant. And I appreciate every single one of you. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.